city of Malmo as a working class harbour city. When the war died, Malmo had a very strong recession. We had a high unemployment rate. Malmo had three main strategies to overcome or to turn that trajectory into something positive. One was this new development of the Western Harbour where we're standing now. The other one was, of course, the bridge to Copenhagen, forming this Öresund region across the border between Denmark and Sweden. So when the Öresund bridge came about, it was a great integration tool. So now it's possible to live in Malmo, work in Copenhagen, or vice versa. So the bridge and this regional focus was also a way to get Malmo to turn around into a more positive economic trajectory. And the third main focus area was to create a university, to become a knowledge city. So right now we're at Bo 01, so 01 being 2001. And we're actually standing on landfill ground. So this is part of a bigger development project for the city of Malmo called Western Harbour. But this was one of the first pieces, like the catalyst development, I would say, for the rest of the development. And it was built as part of a European housing exhibition. And it's a quite interesting development. We're right by the waterfront. So the development was planned around some key principles. One was creating a good microclimate, responding to the context around. So you have a very human scale, very soft, very socially friendly inside of the development. Warm color, rich in experiences, really diverse experiences, like the architecture. The principle behind it was to split up every block, and so that one developer didn't get to develop a whole block, but a piece of a block and then a piece of another block, and then they had different architects design different parts of the block. It's very much designed for this human slow speed, 5 kilometers an hour, the way our senses work, that we need a lot of stimuli in order to thrive, in order to feel comfortable. They try to do a lot of very innovative, sustainable solutions. Everything from how the runoff from building, how it comes down and it's integrated into these great local public spaces and filtered down, but also serving people of the community, like the children can play in these places, and the water being this really nice sensory quality to the place. So where we're standing now, it's car-free, it's pedestrianized. So as family, you can let your kids out. They're free to go and engage with neighbor kids, find good places to play. If you have a car, there are options like either in parking structures or some integrated underground parking, but limited. It's so easy and convenient to live with a bicycle here, or by foot and public transportation. There's an integrated public transportation system with a lot of bus lines or super bus lines running really frequently, so you don't have to check your schedule, you just go there and wait. You also have the access to a good bicycle system with protected bike lanes, so I could definitely take my kids with me. They can bike to school, they can walk to school. It's a very, very safe network for sustainable transportation. The way this area works, that when it was built 2001, the city of Malmo had already a beachfront with sand beaches, but the city didn't have an urban waterfront. So that was one of the goals, to make this a destination not only for the residents, but for all of people from Malmo. So there's a very urban waterfront. In the summer, it's massive. Like, people come here to swim, to have coffee, to meet other people. You have this really calm housing area, coexisting simultaneously in time, really close spatially, but quite different. It's smaller, it's more intimate. People you find here are maybe the more people from the community using it. And then you have people trickle down, visitors coming in. A lot of people come to see the area and experience the spaces. And I find that that proximity creates a really interesting foundation of how we can design spaces, design new developments where people from different backgrounds actually meet. If we look at the different phases of the Western Harbour, the city of Malmo have tried different processes, and you can actually physically tell and see the outcome is different. And that's a great learning generally, I think, that if we design a process, then we create different outcomes. So thinking of city planning much less of a project and much more of a process, and understanding that that relates to the outcome. Bow 1 and the Western Harbour, as a new development for the city, has a really high ambition in terms of sustainability goals and holistic sustainability goals. I believe that if we have the everyday life of people as a focus, when we think sustainability, it's easier to have proper impact than if we think of sustainability as something related to the physical spaces. So how do we make it easy for people to live sustainable? The buildings here, they're all 100% renewable energy supplied, but that doesn't include how people use energy. If we have everyone using a car, then suddenly it's unbalanced. So we have to have that holistic approach. The city of Malmo and private actors have tried to push the sustainability agenda one step further. So one example is this car-free house, which is called the Bicycle House. It's rental apartments, and on the ground floor there is a hotel. And it's a quite interesting concept where we, of course, have to give people another option. If we say no cars, so how do we make it easier for them to bicycle? So if you rent an apartment in this bicycle house called Ahoy, you also get included in your rent a bus card and free access to a wide variety of bicycles, cargo bicycles, electric bicycles, family bicycles, tandem bicycles. And you can also bring in your bicycle to the apartment. It's really well secure, good bicycle parking. So it's set up our different mobility habits. Within this development, we also have Turning Torso, which is this iconic landmark building. What I found really interesting about it, put Malmo on the map, and people travel here to see it. But as any iconic building, it's a one-off thing. The Turning Torso is not what makes people stay here. That's the diversity and the great public spaces. And that's also why people come back. So if you've seen Turning Torso once, then you wouldn't maybe necessarily stay or spend more time here. But then you have all of these great spaces that complement it. So to me, I think that the destination value of this place is actually not the visual landmark of Turning Torso. It is the public spaces where you can sit and enjoy and meet other people and have a coffee or enjoy the sun, the evening sun by the water. That's the gold.